WaveCon 2024 is going to be here before we know it, August 2nd through the 4th. It is Blind Wave University is the theme this time, and we are hosting it at Marietta College. Remember, tickets are limited and on sale now. Head over to blindwave.com/wavecon to buy your tickets today and enroll in Blind Wave University. Class dismissed.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Blind Wave Podcast.
Welcome.
Happy Thursday.
It is Thursday. Yes. How's everybody doing today?
Not too bad. I'm still trying to get chat up.
It has been a day. It has been a day of recording The Boys and Bridgerton.
Yes, indeed.
Two very different types of shows.
Very, very different. It's a little bit of a whiplash energy.
I think it works, though. It works for me.
Oh, yeah.
It's got like Barbie Oppenheimer energy.
Sure. Yeah. I get you. No.
Yes, no Aaron today. Aaron is busy today. He'll be busy today and tomorrow, actually. Yep. Tomorrow, what is our stream tomorrow?
I think it's Jackbox.
Jackbox. Okay, so that we'll be able to play with the audience then. That's going to be a lot of fun.
That's true. It's always a good time, for sure.
Greg Allen subscribed for 14 months, listening at work like God intended.
Allen! Thank you
so much.
That's what works for. Listening to podcast.
Yep.
Yeah, so what's your guys' week's been like?
It's been such a video game dominated week.
Yes.
We've done so many video game trailer reactions.
So many
we've been
trailers
releasing
have
over
come out.
Blind Wave Gaming. So that's been most of my week, not just recording them, but posting them.
Yeah. In fact, I think here in a bit later, we're going to have some more trailers to look at and talk about.
There's going to be like 5 more tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I meant here on the channel.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like while we're live, probably going to have some.
That is true.
So I've been dealing with that. Saw some cool stuff so far. I certainly haven't seen everything, but I think are we still planning on maybe seeing some more on this podcast today? So we're going to have even more today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, just to answer a question, we are dropping all 3 reactions of The Boys. We'll do our best to get them today, but we can only say as soon as possible there will be 3 videos dropping of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Since the editor has to work on them, he can't work on them at the same time.
Yeah.
Obviously. So as they are finished, they'll come out.
Sure. Yeah. But yeah, we're having our podcast here. If you guys want to enter in any questions for later, maybe we can do a little bit of a Q&A segment towards the end of podcasts. Did anybody have anything from this week that they wanted to go over at all?
It's been a bunch of website stuff for me.
Yeah.
I see no reason why we can't make an announcement about one of those things, I suppose.
An announcement?
Ooh.
As long as Jake is able to show my screen eventually.
Okay. Well,
Yep.
Jake's gonna work
I'm not
on
ready
that.
yet either.
And you're not ready. I'm ready though. The anticipation is suddenly flowing through me. How about you, Calvin?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's speculate on what it could be, and that way we can ruin expectations.
I'm thinking like touch your nose to the screen
Yep.
and it tells you your mood.
Okay. Your mood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it uses the screen to like see how warm or cold your nose is, and like a mood ring, but for your phone.
The temperature of your nose has something to do with your emotion?
I don't know. That's how the finger things work.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mood rings change based on the temperature of your skin, right?
Do moon rings work?
I mean, they don't actually.
Yeah.
They don't actually tell you.
But
Your
do they
mood, they
actually
just-
change color?
They do actually change color.
How
though.
do they do that?
By the temperature of your skin.
Oh.
Yeah, it
What would
doesn't work
happen-
on me.
What happens to you? Yeah.
They just break and fall off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like- Dr. Freeze.
have we eaten enough time for the announcement? We have. Okay.
Okay. So we're working on new website features all the time, and we have a pretty big overhaul that's going to be coming up. And a very small part of that overhaul is going to be a fun thing that I think people might enjoy.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's going to be, we're launching Blind Wave collectible cards on the website, which is just something that, as long as you have an account and are using the website, you're going to be getting points that you can spend in order to get fun cards, which we're trying to make it so you can trade with other wave riders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is an example of such a card to give you an idea of kind of
The Bebo.
what they're going to look like. But there's going to
silly.
be a whole set that it will launch with.
Uh-huh.
You'll be able to collect them. You should be able to trade them with other people. And then throughout the year, more sets will be released.
Yeah.
The cards might get used in other things in the future, but now they're just a fun thing to collect.
Neat.
So, yeah, this one here is number 39. Lord Bebo, the blue god worshipped by Vikings in the Arrowverse. And by Aaron, his number one disciple.
Yep. Absolutely.
All cards are exactly truth.
It's technically why Aaron couldn't be here, because we were featuring the Bebo card today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bebo hungry.
Bebo is hungry.
Some people in chat were claiming that we ate Aaron, but I can assure you that's not true.
I don't think I'd eat Aaron. I don't
S-
think so.
Too
so
bitter.
the cards are going to be random. You can't just get the ones that you want.
Mm-hmm.
You'll spend points to get random cards, but you can trade people for ones you do want if you can't get one just through points.
Mm-hmm.
So there should be a whole architecture for that relatively soon, within the next 2 to 3 months, I would say.
Yeah.
But
Superdora is asking, are cards related to Blind Wave history?
yeah, so the launch set is just sort of like a bunch of different Blind Wave things. There's a little bit of stuff from the other channels there, but
Mm-hmm.
sort of as we go on, the future sets will be a little more focused,
Yeah.
I think. But this one will have a little bit of everything.
Yeah, sweet. We've been I've been enjoying looking at cards for a little bit of time now here, so it's cool that other people will be able to anticipate them as much as I have.
Mhm.
And it was just a fun day taking some of these pictures.
Yeah. It was.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
I love how Bebo's glowing.
I know. It's so great.
Ricky was asked, was it mentioned how to get points to get the cards?
So, not specifically, but it's just going to be using the Blind Wave website. pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So you should be getting points for things like watching videos, just interacting in different ways with the website. Will be getting you those points that you can spend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something that you're spending like real life money on or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
just engaging in blindwave.com. It's kind of the idea. There might be a Calvin Giant Spoon card. That's entirely possible. Honestly, don't even remember at this point.
I don't know if there is in the launch set unless we pulled it from the video. I don't remember taking that picture.
I do remember asking you to bring it in, and you never did. So
Well-
it probably isn't, but it could be.
What happened to the giant spoon?
I still have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was packed, I think, when we were doing that photo shoot.
Okay.
And I had to locate it.
Hmm.
It was like in my garage or something, but I have it now. It's on my porch. I have
Yeah.
used it as a snow shovel.
We're sort of simultaneously making a bunch of different, very large updates to the site,
Yeah.
and this is just one of the more fun ones.
Mm-hmm.
But we should be having some things like notifications coming soon, which is what brought down the website the other day.
It did.
Testing that.
Oh,
So-
that was what, Tuesday, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That should be good.
All right. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm trying to think if I had anything else this week. I don't believe so. It was mostly just working on the video game stuff. Yeah, I didn't even stream. I streamed so much last previous weeks, but not this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was your stream the other day, Calvin?
It was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Had a little bit of PC instability, but we slogged through it.
Yeah. You're still doing Helldivers, right?
Still doing Helldivers, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, there was a pretty sizable update today.
Sizable.
There was a lot of changes, the balancing changes, and a few bug fixes as well.
Well, that
haven't got
sounds
it.
like no one would ever complain about that.
No, I think
Oh, you think it's good? Okay.
I think most
My
people are excited
pessimism will
about
know.
it. I think most of them were positive. There's a few nerfs, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think it'll get everybody excited to play again.
Okay.
Did you save the kids?
The children?
The children?
What children?
I thought there was...
Do you mean citizens?
Well, yeah, but I thought it was like save the children or get the mines.
Oh. And that was back a while, I think. Talking about the major order?
Yeah.
No, we didn't do that.
That's a shame.
People weren't. Oh, was there a more recent one that I missed?
Yeah, there's one. I think it's still going on.
I
It's
gotcha.
Hospitals with children and the mines again.
Yeah,
That's-
so...
I
They
think that's what
really
he's
want
talking
us to get those mines, guys.
So the players have a choice between saving children or getting cool new weapons.
Yeah. And this time, there's no like other cool weapon that we want to try.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we just leave the children
Okay.
to fend for themselves.
Yeah.
And then Super Earth government will approve a bunch more. Shoot, what are they called? Are they copulation licenses or what are they?
Yes.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Where
Population
where
license.
you actually get to, it's a C1 license, right?
Yeah.
Or permit, something like that. Where you actually have to get one to have a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe a bunch more of those licenses will be approved. Yes, CO1 permits. Thank you, Dweem Team.
Okay.
So yeah, fuck the kids. I want to try the anti-tank mines. It's the third time it's been on a major order. I want to try it.
That's okay. Like, if you choose to save the kids, what benefit do you get from that?
Just
or is
kids.
it just, no, you save kids?
Just I don't know.
Like,
I
do
I
they
mean,
become, like,
eventually
your
they'll grow
squire?
up to be Helldivers, maybe.
Yeah, like a squire for you that can maybe run me ammo.
They're not good against tanks,
No, they're not
turns
good
out.
against. Okay,
No, not even good fodder.
Nope.
They're just
gotcha.
biomass for the
Okay.
Terminids, I guess. I don't
guess
know.
But my last stream, let's see, on Saturday, I streamed about journaling for mental health.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun stream.
Okay.
This Saturday, I plan to talk about imposter syndrome.
Gotcha.
I've only
okay.
got like 400 more pages of my books to go through before Saturday.
Before Saturday.
But I think that's
Nice.
doable. I read pretty fast.
Sheesh.
Uh-huh.
But that'll be over on Roll with the Punches as well as here at twist.tv/blindwave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, only 400 pages.
Nice.
It's not too bad.
Just read it on 2x speed, like Aaron and Eric do their books for Donkey
Yeah,
Kong.
I try and I almost always listen to it a little tiny bit fast, but I don't want to go too fast sometimes.
No, yeah,
I'll miss stuff.
it's usually when you do like a recap.
But it's
Right.
hard to go back to just normal speed sometimes.
Yeah,
Now
once
I'm like,
you're used
now
to
you're
it.
too slow. Now my brain is engaged too much.
Yeah,
From different history and psychology classes, I learned to parse through books pretty quick.
Pretty quick. Gotcha.
So,
No, I'm a slow reader. I also reread the same thing over and over again. There was a period where I read Lord of the Rings once a year for a decade, you know? But it's not like I read a bunch of other books that year too.
yeah, Maggie can read faster than me, but she's easily distractible with her ADHD.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten pretty addicted to audiobooks just because you can also do things. I always feel like anytime I choose to do something, I'm neglecting something else. So
That makes
that's
sense.
been nice.
Yeah, I haven't read for a long time just because, like, distractions are too prevalent. It's too disruptive.
You need a study. It's like solely designed
Like a quiet room.
for
yeah.
reading.
But I also have cats.
No. You keep the cats out of the study.
Good luck.
We had one of our cats locked out of our bedroom the other night, and she would just push things under the door.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I'm here.
It's like not only scratching and meowing, but in case that doesn't get your attention, here's this straw.
Yeah.
Speaking of reading, I got a question for you guys.
You got a reading question.
Okay?
Yeah. So,
Now's the time to talk about it. The Aaron's not here.
exactly.
It's true.
What level of imagination do you guys have when you read? Like, how much do you picture things?
Vivid, full on, like my eyes aren't seeing the page, they're seeing the environment of the book.
I don't think I brag too often, but I think I'm real good at it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always been pretty good in terms of the being able to see what I'm reading in my mind, like my mind's eye. But I also go a little too far with it too, especially like a Star Wars book. Like I'm reading a lightsaber fight, but it's happening too slow, so my mind's imagining what the choreography's like.
I'm not sure how to describe it. I don't think I picture things vividly like that. If anything, it's more of maybe like a photographic negative,
Okay,
if that makes sense.
sure.
And I tend to see, like, if you say cow, I see the word COW before I start to try to picture
Interesting.
like what the animal looks like. That makes
Gotcha.
sense.
I do both.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like I picture like a cow and then like a bunch of different types of cow. And then I picture
The word.
like, you know, like a children's reading book where it has a cartoonish picture of a cow
Yeah.
with it labeled cow underneath of it. Like I see all those things flashing through my head
Sure.
like in an instant.
I'm gonna throw an image up on my monitor if you guys want to look at it.
Okay.
So like Calvin, once you see this, are you like a 1 on this?
Yeah.
Okay. Eric, you're like a 1 as well.
I'm thinking about Macintosh.
You're just imagining.
The level of detail.
Yeah, no.
You're just imagining if I say apple in your head, like what is the level of detail that pops in?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I suppose that's what I'm thinking of. But I mean, if it's just the word apple, then I'm thinking of apple tree, apple juice. Like I'm thinking of a bunch of different types of apple
Yeah.
until we get like context or, I know what the apple's doing or why I care about it.
I guess
Yeah.
the better question is like the level of detail.
The level of detail. Yeah, I would say so.
Like I get more concepts and sensations, I think, than pictures. So mine's probably closer to a 4,
Okay.
I would say.
I always like asking about this when it gets to it because I'm a 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I full on have aphantasia.
Yeah.
I have never seen an image in my head.
Okay.
So we got onto the subject of reading, and I was just wanted to hear
Sure,
the
yeah.
differences.
No, I mean,
And that's so strange to me.
And your
It's so alien.
and your like lived in experience is so alien to me, but
Mhm.
I'm like the 1%.
Yeah.
I have a question. This might be slightly related. How long did you go outside and play by yourself for? Like until like what age? Calvin, I'm going to assume that yours was quite late like mine was.
Outside, not
Like-
long because we didn't live in a good neighborhood.
Yeah.
But like I played with toys of like these are the
Sure, yeah.
little knights and the
Yeah.
castle you got. That I did those little battle kind of things.
Yeah.
But I didn't live in a good neighborhood, so going
I get
outside
you.
was kind of like, please don't.
I mean, because I lived on a farm, I didn't have to feel judged. Like I was out swinging swords and playing even when I was older, getting in
Yeah.
my teenage years.
I was getting
think
teens.
because of that, my imagination stayed active like a lot.
I mean, when we moved, we were like out to the country. I
Yeah.
was 11, and we played outside and did
Sure.
that
yeah.
stuff.
But
somewhat.
you've
Did you do it
never
regularly?
experienced it though,
Yeah.
right?
No, I've never.
So it's not like something that you've grown out of.
But I
Yeah,
think
and-
imagination is different than picturing something.
No, and I agree. I guess for me, that was always I also was by myself.
Yeah.
Almost all the time, too. So imagination was like the only thing I had,
Yeah.
when it came to that type of thing. But I agree. Like in terms of like the actual utility, what you're rendering in your brain versus what your brain is trying to simulate or understand, I guess, is very different.
So yeah, this always, whenever we talk about reading, it always kind of triggers this because
Yeah.
reading is difficult for me
I
because of
understand.
this.
Sure.
Because I only see the pages on the book,
Yeah.
and so I just kind of realized, hey, what's your guys' experience with this?
Yeah. And Turtle Cows brings up another point. Like it's similar to people who don't have an internal monologue. People who don't have a voice of themselves talking to themselves in their head.
Yeah.
Like it must be so different and unimaginable to them of like, wait, you guys talk to yourselves in your head? Like you hear your thoughts as a voice instead of just having thoughts. Like it must be similar to that.
Yeah, my head is never quiet.
Neither is mine.
And mine is always quiet.
That's so weird.
I have an inner voice, like I can think of what I'm gonna say, but I don't converse with myself. There's no like back and forth. And Jen is the opposite of me as well. She's never quiet.
Yeah.
I'm always just like in the middle of a lake. First thing in the morning,
Uh-huh.
nothing is happening.
I sometimes am unsure if I had a conversation with someone in my head or if I actually had that conversation with someone in person.
Yeah. I get
Okay.
like massive I just had the word and it flew out of my head.
Deja vu?
Deja vu. Yes.
Deja vu.
I have like incredible amounts of deja vu when I'm having a conversation that I am like 99% sure that I didn't have this conversation, but I remember it so vividly.
I just, for the longest time growing up, I just thought everyone else was super forgetful,
Yeah.
but turns out that's not the case. But sometimes.
I certainly have the conversation in my head, but it's not all the time. How often would you say you have it, Calvin? All the time?
Deja vu?
No, I'm sorry. The conversation in your head.
Oh, it doesn't stop.
It takes a great deal of effort to make it stop. Like if I am like working on the heavy bag or something, or like meditating, like, but its default state is always on from the moment I wake up in the morning until the moment I go to sleep at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I have I don't think talent's the right word, but I'm good at turning off sensations. So like if I'm being irritable, I can recognize I'm irritable and just turn it off. If I'm annoyed at what I'm hearing, I can literally just stop myself from hearing. I do that a lot. But I don't think I ever have to stop myself from thinking too much. I don't know.
Like my brain is missing a filter.
Sure, I understand.
So that's for thoughts, for sensations, for sensory stuff.
Yeah.
It just isn't there.
I mean, also, I feel like my brain works slightly different after 8-9 years of content creation than it did before, too, because I'm engaging it in different ways for such large amounts of my day.
There's definitely ways you can rewire your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I've been working to rewire it so, you know, whenever my heart gets elevated, I don't have a panic attack.
I understand. Yeah, sure.
So, like, trying to rewire things to where I can exercise again.
Yeah. It's very thought-provoking because I'm thinking about thoughts.
Yeah, like I don't think today I've had an out loud thought in my head.
Really?
I don't think at all today. I might have I might repeat or I might say what I'm gonna say right before I say it.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that I am not
okay.
like saying it incorrectly. But like a thought has not just popped in my head all day.
Like, you and I are having two conversations, but you're only aware of one of them.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and I are living almost exact opposite levels of brain, like the way our brains are functioning.
Yeah.
But it's also sometimes like a lot of people say, I wish I could trade brains with you.
Yeah.
And you probably would for a moment or for the ability to turn it off and on. But that silence is also deafening.
Sure.
There's a level of silence that is just.
It would be interesting to switch
Oh, not for me, baby.
brains with like a
Silence.
neurotypical person that doesn't have the constant like
I just think
stimulation.
I think there's a chance I'm just neurotypical in just the opposite aspects.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it has its pluses and benefits. Like, if I can give my brain a puzzle to work on, it'll work on that all day while I'm doing other things and like come up with interesting solutions. But if it decides to work on, you know, the pointlessness of life or something like that, then it will.
It will fixate on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it will, think about it too much.
Yes.
I definitely
I
have
get
to
that.
trick myself to not let my mind wander when I'm trying to do a task. But I also just and this is especially true since I've moved and lived more out in an area like where I grew up, which was just by ourselves. No one around, no street noise, no a neighbor trying to get your attention that I can't hear in the first place. So I'm always paranoid a neighbor's trying to get my attention, that type of thing. And I can just in the summer, this is my first summer at this house, and I can just go out back and literally just hear nothing and watch fireflies in the woods. And I can do that for an hour and not think about anything, But I can be in that same environment and be like, no, today I'm thinking about what my next Badonkagong segment's going to be, and I'll work on that, but
Until those crickets come out.
I can turn the crickets off.
Oh,
yeah.
I cannot turn the
I can
crickets off.
I can turn any sound off.
If it's a constant noise,
Yeah.
I can turn it off. But if there's any fluctuation, deviation, or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
like just the ripples of it,
Yeah.
my brain like fixates on. So, like if you find a radio station that is like just static,
Mm-hmm.
and as you're driving, like voices will come in and out, like just barely in the background,
Yeah.
like I will fixate on that and listen to it till it hurts.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I sometimes feel like I have a little knob in my head that I can just turn it down. And like anytime I want to, I can be like, wait, what were you saying? And turn it back up. But I can just turn it down and just You guys have been around when it happens.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's not even like a zone out. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm not trying to hear right now.
Looks like we have a trailer.
Oh, I was just getting that ready for later.
Jancy said, "Yeah, it's hard to get his attention when he does that." That is very true. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I don't know. I need to think about that more. And it's really interesting to hear your guys' perspectives with it too. Like when I get here in the morning, like by myself, I'm coming up the steps. I'm constantly like, the light should be on for these steps. That way, the light's always on. And it's always safe. Like I'm always thinking about that. But I do have to stop myself, I suppose, when I do that type of thing. Whenever I see somebody, I'm like, oh, hey, how are you? So yeah, I am jumping from that inner monologue, but I don't want to think about it as a conversation, I suppose.
Yeah, I think we're similar in that way.
Yeah.
I don't have a conversation. I just have this light should be on.
I have a running commentary of myself saying the things that are happening around me.
I think
suppose.
that's like the most noise I hear is a running commentary of like, hey, that's a thing that happened around me.
Okay. Well, something that happened around us is a super chat from RAV Panda, $5. They said, Eric, have you listened to Andy Serkis's Lord of the Rings and Hobbit audiobooks? I just finished last week and they're so good. Well, if we're talking about the ones he did on stream during the pandemic, I have listened to some of it. I couldn't listen to all of it just because it was like Zoom quality. But if there's been something recorded that's not that, I would very much like to hear that because that guy is fantastic at using his voice to draw you in and get you. He's a good storyteller in that regard.
He's great.
Yeah. So if it's a better audio version, then yes.
Kit Kat says the audio version's on Spotify.
On Spotify. Okay, I'll have to check that out. That sounds great.
Yeah. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe he did like a recording like there, but he also like broadcast it.
Oh, yeah, okay. We had some other people chatting over here on YouTube as well. Hello, YouTube. I'm sorry we don't always interact with you guys. We have the Twitch chat open mostly, but we do see you over there. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah.
Spectacular Spider-Man came out today.
Yes, it did.
Available on YouTube now. You can go beyond at blindwave.com to see even more.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a really fun show.
It's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, we've been watching Batman for what feels like, 2.5 years now?
Oof.
And there was a part of me that was like,
Yeah, at least.
I don't know if I feel the need to watch a Spider-Man show. I will. I mean, it was voted in, but I've gotten my fill with Batman and X-Men and stuff lately, but it's such a different tone that I've found myself enjoying it a lot. And every time I listen to that opening, it gets better.
It's great.
I don't know. Still hasn't won me over.
At first, I was like, it's okay. But it was new. And now I just find myself singing it all the time, which is the hallmark of something great for me. I don't want something that I enjoy. I want something that won't leave me alone sometimes.
I know exactly what you mean.
Like, it sounds so similar to another song that I'm always thinking of that song and wishing that it was playing that song. So I haven't gotten attached to it yet.
Do you know what the song is, or do you just like hear that song?
I hear parts of it.
Okay.
When I listen to the Spider-Man theme.
I can find that. Whenever we listen to the Succession opening, I'm always hearing the Evil Morty theme from Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Every time.
I get that.
And I can't stop it. I'm sorry.
I've heard the Succession theme a bunch before we started the show.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Because it was, I think it was on TikTok or something like that. Like it was used for like one of those audios that they stick on a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Now, the other superhero show with a great opening you guys need to watch is Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Avengers.
Never watched
Hopefully we'll get to that someday.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I like that one a lot. Another one canceled before it should have been. Damn you, Disney.
If it gets recommendations and if it gets votes, we'll do it.
Metroid Hat gave $10. I have loads of voices I hear in my head, so I can't go into a restaurant or study without noise-canceling headsets like Rick has been wearing in some videos. Yep. Need noise-canceling headphones whenever I go anywhere that's particularly noisy.
Yeah. Now, you've been
Around
using
here.
Yeah, you got the buds,
Yep. I
which
have.
is a little less noticeable than the headset, I suppose, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter to me whether it's noticeable or not, but the noise-canceling headphones can make it too hard to hear sometimes.
Oh, I 100% agree with
Where
that.
they cut out too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be tough to find the balance.
Yeah, I prefer buds in almost every way, but when I'm out in public, I usually don't put a bud in my bad ear. Why would I? But people then think you can hear them.
Yeah.
When that
Sure.
happens. So sometimes I put it in just to not be bothered.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like if I go to a concert or something, I'll have to have these and the headphones.
And the headphones. I was the kid that had to have earplugs for every fireworks show and concert I ever went to. That was once my mom realized, like, you got one ear, you got to protect it. Yep. And then, as a kid, that you don't want that. You want it to be loud and explode.
But
you know.
But you have resistance to auditory damage.
Yeah, I suppose.
You're only taking half as much damage as a normal person would take.
Daniel with $5. Speaking of themes, did you know that the Alien Force theme is just the classic theme slowed down? Just put it on the AF theme and speed it up.
Really? I
Interesting.
didn't know that. Huh. A burn town. Okay. We'll have to try that out.
We need to try to rank openings at some point. I think that would be a lot of fun.
You know how I feel about ranking.
Copyright nightmare.
But that sounds great.
It does sound great.
Because I do like the art of it's great, but I do like the science of a good opening.
Yeah.
And the arbitrary rules that I think make it just something that you look forward to versus you kind of want to get through.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your most hated opening of all time?
That one Naruto opening's pretty bad.
Of all time? Oh, okay. Yeah. And that's the that one?
Yeah. That I can remember, it's probably that one.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of one that I dislike more.
I hate Young Sheldon's opening.
I don't think I've heard
I haven't
that.
really watched that show much, but I watched
forgot
a bit.
you talking about
I
that.
hate that fucking opening.
I know.
Doesn't make any sense. Kid never wears boots, but he's got boots in that one. Ugh.
I hate the sound of auto-tune. So there's a lot of like My Hero openings and stuff like that otherwise I would like, but they have auto-tune in them, and it's just like nails on a chalkboard for me.
Is there anything, like, I understand, like, when it comes to auto-tune, it does give you a specific sound because you're trying to tone match something that's not there.
Yeah.
But is there any use of auto-tune that you like when it's used quote unquote correctly?
Let's see. There is an anime opening that I do kind of enjoy.
Yeah.
Because it is used more like an instrument and not like it's trying to do a voice.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it.
See, there's one, and I know that you don't like it, but the one My Hero one, I can't think of what the name of the opening is, but it has like the that one, and it's definitely auto-tuned. But I've always liked the way that singer used the instrument auto-tune during that part. Odd Future, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that sounds
Odd Future does sound right. Which I have that, I think, on my playlist. I just skip past that part.
Gotcha. Hazelnut on YouTube said, "Hey guys, I just wanted to say I've been watching you since Flash Reaction with Eric and Aaron. I wanted to thank you for making me laugh so much when I was younger. Thanks."
It's one of the Overlord openings. I don't know which one, because I haven't seen the show, but I've only heard the openings. But it has like very, very hungry in the lyrics.
Okay. Gotcha.
Kind of like that one.
Hmm.
But that one is like, it sounds like a synthesizer almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
Sure.
not even close to
Yeah.
a human voice.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the free run opening? Because it's quite auto-tuned. As
The
well.
first one, the second one.
First, I believe.
It's
I'm
definitely not
remembering.
my favorite. I like the second one better, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. I've just been trying to think of an opening that I don't like, but it's really just a Young Sheldon. I generally am cool with most of them.
I'll have to listen to it now. I'm
Yeah.
curious.
I don't know why. And it's not just the song. It's the video, everything about it.
Everything.
Just the fact that it doesn't
Yeah.
correlate to the show at
He's
all.
like, yeah, he's in a desert. He's in Texas. I'm like, yeah, but whenever they're out and about, they're not in a desert. You know, he doesn't. He's in Texas, so he's wearing cowboy boots. It's like, well, yeah, he never wears cowboy boots. Why we got that?
I don't like
They have a milk cow out in the middle of the desert. Like, that's not great.
I don't like Death Note 2, but that's mainly just because I love 1 so much.
I understand.
I have special memories about Death Note too.
I love having special memories about things.
Yep. The first time we heard it, we were
Uh-huh.
reeling.
I feel the same way about Mob Psycho openings. Like the first time I hear them, I'm reeling. But like after that, I'm in.
Yeah, the Mob Psych one's growing me quite a bit.
Yeah.
I like the counting one the most, I think, because it's the one that I can remember. I feel like the others were not as unique or recognizable.
Mm-hmm.
That they just don't stick with me.
The last one comes to my mind the most, but I mean the county one's super catchy too.
Yeah.
Albus the Bomb, don't have a favorite opening, but I really like Yuri on Ice OP. Oh, that one's so good. History Maker.
Never heard it.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
And I really, I pushed Yuri on Ice for years for us to do. It's so short. Every time there's like, we got a little gap. Like, Yuri on Ice!
Oh, yeah. All those times where we're like, oh, we got time room in the schedule. Yuri on Ice.
We used to.
I have to assume it's a... Nope. Is it a figure skating anime?
It is.
Okay.
Yes.
All
It
right.
sure
That
is.
makes sense.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So good. You would love it.
I'm sure I would. How can I not when it's such a interesting premise? It's a figure skating anime. Anime is at its peak when it utilizes amazing posing and couple that with sound. And that is like the point of figure skating. It's literally, this is what Jesus would dance like because it's on water, you know?
I think it's one of those animes. It's only, 12 episodes long or whatever, but
Uh-huh.
it made me feel every emotion very strongly.
Okay.
Now I want to watch it again.
You're welcome.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was some talking about some opening. I say we check out some trailers that we haven't had a chance to check out. Does that sound
Yeah.
good to you guys?
Sure.
More video game trailers?
More video game trailers.
How could
we
there be
love
so
video
many?
game trailers.
We're just gonna, I think, jump into it like we have over at the gaming channel, where a trailer just starts for us, and then we react and talk about it as it happens. So let's see what happens this time on Blywave Gaming.
I already read the screen, so I know what this one is.
Not yet rated.
Paris?
It's twisted.
Twisted Metal?
Yeah.
Nice.
34.
Soon she'll wake and paint again. Paint a new number, ticking down every year,
Oh.
Getting Attack on Titan vibes.
Kinda, yeah.
and everyone of that age vanishes into nothingness.
Ooh, that's rough.
Oh, shit.
Every year she paints again, and every year an expedition departs for the continent with one hopeless
Looks like
mission:
uh,
destroy
Robert Pattinson.
the paintress, so she can never again.
Oh, okay.
We'll break the cycle, so she can't steal anyone else's future.
This is the same voice actor from Final Fantasy 16, isn't it? This is Clive.
Yet everywhere we go, we walk with death.
Whoa.
Do you mean we're the only ones left?
Oh, the world is beautiful.
Got like a Legend of the Dragoon style combat system almost, looks like.
It's turn-based.
Counter.
Calvin, it's your favorite.
I'm not into turn-based.
Active turn-based though. It's like
Eh.
a Paper Mario.
It's like just a bunch of QTEs. It feels like then.
Well, but there's counters and jumps.
And jump, Calvin.
Yeah, but there's still lock-on.
Lay the trail for those who'll come after.
It's like the ultimate lock-on.
Right.
Yeah.
Turn-based system.
We are Expedition 33.
Expedition 33.
Feels like a Western JRPG.
Okay. So
That
just
makes
an
any sense.
RPG? No, I'm kidding. Huh.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know anything about it. The world looked cool. The designs and all that looked good. If that was the straight up gameplay, that looked good. I don't really play a whole lot of RPGs, but you said it was kind of like what system you were talking about, Rick?
Legend of the Dragoon.
Okay. And what's different from there compared to a normal system like that, turn-based system that I'm
So if you take like your classic Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior, like you put in a command and then the command happens, and then an enemy unknowingly to you puts in a command, that command happens to you, and then it just sort of repeats.
Okay.
But like a Legend of the
Pokemon.
Dragoon in a Paper Mario or something like that, when I do that, or Final Fantasy VIII does it with the gunblades as well, when my character executes that command,
Yeah.
as they're making contact, if I time the button press correctly, I will do more damage, or I will add in an additional effect
Okay.
or something like that.
Gotcha.
So it's sort of like an active turn-based thing, where you're not
Sure.
like moving around and
Like I can't play it and put it down randomly on my turn because nothing's gonna happen.
yeah, you still could.
You still can. Okay.
Yeah. But like as turns are happening, it's not just I select attack and then wait until my turn comes around again. It's as my character's attacking, I now need to time this thing
Okay.
correctly.
Gotcha.
And it also looks like it takes it the other way, which I believe Legend of the Dragoon did as well. It's been a while since I played it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also actively block as things are coming at you as well.
So you don't
Gotcha.
take max damage.
yeah,
Or,
and the better you time it, the more you will block or something
Nice.
like that.
it's an interesting idea.
Yeah, it's been around for a long time, and I like that style of combat. I think it's kind of a best of both worlds sort of thing, where
Yeah.
you can execute a lot of strategy, and it doesn't require a ton of twitch reflexes, but it still has a little bit of that.
It's keeping you engaged a little bit more.
Yeah,
I suppose,
and you feel cooler nailing that timing.
Yeah.
Than you do just watching your character do the attack.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it looks cool.
All right.
And
That's cool.
I like the idea of everyone of a certain age. It's kind of like the eldest,
Mm-hmm.
like a biblical sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
Well, yeah, because once it gets down to like, I don't know, like 6, like they're not going to be able to take care of themselves, let alone those that are 1 through 5.
Yeah, do you
know?
just...
like eventually?
I wonder if she just goes in order or if she chooses at random.
Well, they said like every year she marks down the next number, so I would assume
Yeah.
because it went from 34 to 33 that it's just counting down.
Would 69 be your first or your last?
Either way, it would be nice.
Mm.
Either way, it would be nice. I can't top that. Okay, that was cool. Do we have more? We have more. Let's get to the next one. Again, secrets. And we'll try not to look at the what's coming up. I'm not looking.
Closing my eyes. Closing my left eye.
Okay, here we go.
Oh,
my
I've seen
God,
this.
What is this? I'm so confused right now.
It's a GTA like, but you play as
Beans?
Beans, I believe.
Okay.
That was Max Payne like
That's
stuff.
what I call a dramatic entrance. There's a reason why I'm called Killer Bean.
Killer Bean.
It's because I'm good at what I do.
Oh my gosh.
Really.
So it's
Oh,
it almost feels a little bit like
under the leg.
Oh
I used to be an assassin.
That game you played?
yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it either.
An international
It feels like a little bit super hot
Yeah,
and
I remember that game that you played.
until they lied to me.
oh that
Tried to
other
kill me.
like splintered metal or something like
I'm
that.
gonna destroy them.
Can't remember the name of it.
You're the gosh darn idiot who wants to take down the Shadow Agency. Well, it is sure nice to meet you. Before you die.
Shit.
That was fun.
Take his gun. Suplex.
Spinneroonie.
That was like a
Oh my God,
Deadpool
zombies.
move. Artillery. They have naval ships.
That one has a sword.
It's like it's doing a bit of everything.
Is that
Yeah.
Metal Gear?
Make them pay for it.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Killer Bean.
Killer Bean.
Summer 2024.
I think it embraced the jank when it comes to the design. Looks fun to me.
Yeah, if it's super enjoyable, it doesn't have to be like incredible graphics or.
So one of the reasons why this is a big deal is Killer Bean originally was a short produced in 1996 by one guy and has since spent years practicing and learning animation on his own, and has progressively made more Killer Bean films or shorts.
You just will not let Killer Bean go.
Yeah.
So it's a universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it has a mobile game, and this was announced in August, and I believe he has done almost all the work on it. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm not an expert in it, but that was just what I got from a little quick Google of this is basically just one man's
Passion project.
That's
passion
great.
project for over 2 decades.
That is impressive.
Some of the greatest, most popular, and biggest games are just like one or two people.
Yep. Dwarf Fortress, Dust and Elysian Tale.
Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a action comedy movie called Killer Bean Forever. The film follows Jack Killer Bean, a skilled assassin operating in a world populated by anthropomorphic coffee beans. He's tasked with taking down a powerful mafia boss named Cappuccino.
Cappuccino.
However, things get complicated as both the police and rival mercenaries pursue him.
He threw a bullet and shot it, and that bullet shot a bean.
Yep.
I
That's-
don't need any plot.
And yeah, the entire movie's available on YouTube at the Killer Bean YouTube channel. No, I love the idea that it's just, this guy just likes his Killer Bean characters and is now making a whole game for it. The game looks fun.
Yeah.
The animation
does.
looked great.
It does
Just
look
because
like a
it's-
lot of fun.
Because it's, like I said, it's almost like embracing the jank.
Mm-hmm.
We have one more trailer.
One more trailer. All right.
Okay.
Let's see.
Glad it wasn't an hour long.
All right.
18.
Peggy, 18.
The best laid plans of men don't always come to fruition. Man proposes, but God disposes. And then boots
Looks
you
like
in the balls.
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
These two young fellas, I need to find them. One's a smart-ass Smith, and the other's a blue-blooded fledgling.
You behave like a spoiled brat. How dare you speak?
Oh,
Not the coconut.
that was a coconut.
Or some kind of potato or something like that.
Our Father, there are many sinners in this world. But in the end, we all face your judgment for what we should have done, but lacked the courage to do.
The last time I ran away, I lost everything. I'm never gonna run from that fucker again.
Kiss our asses!
God, is this retribution for my sins?
To the task!
Ooh.
Come on!
To the fucking task.
Yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
2.
Okay.
No, Les is a big fan of the first one.
Yeah.
It was been on my list for a while, but I was in a lot of long games at the time when it came out, so I never got a
I
chance to do it.
understand that.
Yeah.
But
You can't be in too many long games at once.
yeah, from what I've heard, it's fantastic. But never got a chance to do it.
And they have hand cannons.
Yes.
That looks cool.
Well, that she's got over 600 hours in the first.
Oh, wow. I mean, I definitely noticed the landscapes had a very real scale to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of times in video games, especially like open world stuff, like how things are spaced and points of interest don't really match the world landscape sometimes, you know? But that one, I don't know. I bought it. And it looked like it had some like cool swordplay and stuff in there.
Yeah.
From what I understand, there's a fair amount of freedom allotted to you for how you like handle different things.
Cool. Okay. All right.
All right. That was the last one.
Cool.
Okay. Sounds great. Like we said, we still have some videos coming up at Blind Wave Gaming that will be out, I think, tonight, and then also some even tomorrow as well, before we're all caught up with everything that we've watched so far. But yeah, there was a lot from Summer's Games Fest this year. It feels like they're really trying to make up for the lack of E3.
Yeah.
The full list of what they have picked up is on our Discord as well. If
Gotcha.
you have not, if you're something that you're looking for specifically, there's a list on our Discord.
I'll have to, now that it's all over, look now and see if there's anything that we didn't get to see that I might be very excited about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're always coming out with fun-looking new games, and there's still so many I haven't played that are already out.
It's true. I know. I just
never ending.
I need him to take like 5-year break.
I need another Atari crash.
Yeah.
Is what I need. I need things to just stop for a couple of years.
I just had a notification on my phone. My, Facebook does this a lot, but my phone's starting to do it now too, where it like, hey, you have a picture on your phone from 6 years ago today. Do you want to see what it was? And mine was like I never take pictures, but I had like 50 pictures from 6 years ago. I'm like, what's this? E3.
Damn.
E3 would have been 6 years ago exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, that would have been the one where we met the guys from GTFO who came up to me and said, "You're the oh shit guy." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, we loved all of our reactions to our trailer, but yours was the best because something happened and you go, oh shit." I was like, I've never been referred to as the oh shit guy.
That's funny.
Where's that shirt?
I need to get that one. No.
All right, Jake, are we ready to do this letterbox thing?
I mean, I can if you want.
Is that why it's here?
I just had it prepped in case we were going to do it.
Letterbox thing?
Should we wait for Aaron, or do we not care about his opinions?
We don't
We
care.
might should wait.
We don't
I
care.
don't know. If we don't care, we can go.
We do have a letterbox account now as Blind Wave.
Mm-hmm.
We also, I think all of us except Calvin have a personal one.
No.
Yeah.
I do not have one.
Oh,
I do
Eric
not
doesn't
have one.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I have one. Archmaster 7, probably. That's what all my things tend to be under.
Mm-hmm.
Most of mine are bad movies. For example, my most recent watched, which I do not keep it as fresh as I should, but Santo versus Dr. Death.
Okay.
Which is...
You said it
amazing.
With such meaning.
Well, so there was a time in Mexico, and then this is just me reading things on the internet. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but I want to believe. So they did a poll, a popularity poll in Mexico of like the most recognizable person, right?
Okay.
And so I can't remember who was number one. Well, I'm pretty sure number one was Jesus. You may have heard of him.
I've heard.
Number
Jesus,
two
as they would say.
was someone I don't remember. And number three was this guy.
Okay.
Santo.
Who
is a luchador.
Okay.
And, you know,
Mexican wrestler.
If you can imagine how big Hulk Hogan was in America, Santo was way bigger in Mexico.
Okay.
You know, wore his mask all the time until he died.
Until he
died. Was buried in his mask.
Wow.
And he made a ton of movies. So they're sort of like James Bond movies.
And he wears his mask in the movies.
Absolutely.
All right.
But starring someone who you don't know who it is.
I mean, it's Santo.
But you don't know who Santo is.
He's the third most recognizable person in Mexico.
So when he's in a movie, he is simply Santo.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. He's not like Santo playing Macbeth.
It's like if
well, he's not playing himself.
It's
right?
like if Christopher Lee was playing James Bond.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
Sure. I wonder, are there ever conspiracies just like, that's not the Santo, that's a stand-in, just using his mask so he can be in more places than one?
I don't know. He has a pretty singular physique, especially for the time.
Really? Okay. Gotcha.
I think it would be pretty tough to fake.
To fake that. Nice.
But
okay.
But yeah, no.
I mean,
that's...
people still think that Elvis is alive.
Sure.
It's true.
So there's got to be somebody.
Yeah, tremendous. And, you know, Anaconda versus Lake Placid. Not as good, turns out.
Well, I guess the way to start is, what is Letterbox?
It's an app / website, I assume.
Okay.
I assume it's a website. I mean, we're looking at the website right here.
Yeah.
But it's a way to track movies that you've watched and to rate them, review them. It's like a social media platform, but movies in a way.
Okay.
And I'm sure they have recommendation stuff as well. But you can see like the hot movies, you know, out now and stuff like that.
I understand.
But yeah, they have. I have not put in a movie that they have not had, and I watched some obscure stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's just a good way to keep track of stuff that I've seen. And I usually don't review stuff. I should do it more, but it's also tough because they only give you like a 5-star system. And like The Room is 5 stars and The Thing is 5 stars, but they're very different 5 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to like confuse people.
Well,
no,
I get you.
So
I think you do.
You know what? You would know what I would say.
That's fine. I think I see your point. Regardless.
So I'm not really sure how to rate things on it because the rating system just doesn't flow with what I'm about.
I mean, would that be fixed if, say, you had 10?
Well, it would need to be like a good movie 5 stars and a bad movie 5 stars, right? Or a 5 stars and a negative 5 stars.
Well,
Okay.
are you ranking the film as the film is, or how much you enjoyed it? Because you are reviewing it, not like
Honestly,
you're not taking the grand opinion of it. And
it would be
condensing it
great
down.
if they had 2 ratings for you, I think. Like your enjoyment and like your more critical rating of it.
Sure.
Because, you know, I'm probably giving The Room 0 stars, 1 star on the critical side of things.
Sure.
But for enjoyment, 5 stars.
I think enjoyment should be the only one you consider.
I don't think that's true because, like, I would rate, I don't know of a good example, but
I don't enjoy watching Schindler's List, but it is a great film.
yeah, that's a good example. Or like, there's there's certain rap music that I enjoy to listen to, but there's also certain rap music that I don't necessarily enjoy to listen to, but I appreciate.
Sure.
And can recognize how good it is.
Yeah, I suppose. Like I do enjoy Schindler's List, but I also include the things that give me a visceral experience as a experience that I find enjoyable. Like I enjoy being scared. I enjoy being sad. I can enjoy all those things.
But like,
it's all entertainment for me.
I don't know. If you're comparing like watching Hot Fuzz or I don't know, Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's one that you will put on and watch in an afternoon, and there's another that you like you kind of have to plan for, you know?
Sure. So
you're like making the conscious decision to like, I am going to imbibe art now and spend my time doing that, rather than I just want something that I can laugh to and enjoy and relax. You know? Like there's different levels of enjoyment, and you can appreciate Citizen Kane for being, you know, a artistic vision and a film in that way, but you're not necessarily just throwing it on while you're eating your dinner, you know?
I suppose. Yeah, I get what you mean.
I
Like,
think
there's a part of me that wants to say, like, well, it doesn't work because they aren't to be compared, but I understand that in putting them in 2 different boxes, they're easier to compare to other things in that same box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like if you don't want to compare, you could look at it and like, I don't particularly like the story of Oppenheimer. I didn't really enjoy the film.
Sure.
But I also look at it and go, the cinematography is incredible. The acting is incredible.
Yeah.
All of these like individual things still add up to like an incredible whole.
Sure.
But I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of, that's how I feel about it.
I understand.
Read it.
Yeah. I just feel sometimes that what you probably would admit is a very complex way of feeling about something. It's hard to put down to a number of stars and try to compare that to another movie that you might have the same number of stars, but you have completely different opinions about, you know? It's like your 3.5 might mean nothing to me in that regard because you have another 3.5, but you've enjoyed that one more. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I think, like, I'm fine with star ratings, but
sure,
it comes along with more in-depth thoughts.
Yeah.
Whether it's a written review or a video review or whatever. Like,
I don't know. Sometimes there's just a part of me that's like, you know, like Nadim in the YouTube chat, like Oppenheimer isn't Nolan's best movie. Like Nadim feels that way about Oppenheimer and is also making a how much they might, I'm assuming maybe they really like Nolan's movies, but it's not the best of his movies. So, you know, I have to look at, well, what's your star rating? Nadim might put 4 and I'll be, oh, Nadim really liked that movie. But it's the worst of all these others that might be 5s. So, I mean, I can understand put stuff into context that way. Just sometimes for me, it's, I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to make them fight each other for my top spot. You know, like You like when you had MySpace and you had your top 5 friends, and it was just always stressful when you had to change that, because when you change it, you put thought into it.
Yeah.
It's that type of thing.
But like,
maybe I take it too seriously. I don't know.
I think you can look at it objectively as well. Like, Samurai Cop breaks a lot of editing rules.
True.
And that makes it a worse film.
True, but there are fantastic artistic movies that specifically break those film rules, and they're done well. Or I should say, they please you more.
Sure.
Right? Like, even though it's like something's not following the rules, sometimes rules are, they're meant to be broken in pursuit of creativity. And Samurai Cop was in pursuit of creativity. Like, good jokes and bad jokes come from the same place, which is like the attempt to be funny. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's not. But sometimes you're looking for it, and it's like, oh, that one didn't work. It's like, oh, okay, that one didn't work for me.
But like, sometimes a movie is made to make money. It's not made for any artistic purposes.
Sure.
It's made to, like, it checks all these boxes. It's going to appeal to this sort of audience.
While I will recognize that does happen, I wouldn't say that they're definitely not mutually exclusive. Like, things can try to be successful and be an artistic vision.
Sure.
But yeah, maybe I just balk at the word objective when it comes to artistic experience, because I think it gets really messy. Because what's really objectively good for you is not objectively good for somebody else, which just negates the word objective. So then you have to try to find the critical consensus.
Yeah.
Which I think, consensus is really good when it comes to like scientific endeavors and
when you
trying
have
to find things that conform to reality. But
when you have
art by
repeatable
definition
results,
doesn't conform to reality.
Right?
What's that?
When you have repeatable results, it can be objective.
Yeah,
but like,
absolutely.
If I put you in a room with popcorn and a movie, and I put Rick in a different room with the same movie and popcorn, you two will have completely different experiences, even though the experiment was, it was the same in both rooms.
Yeah.
Like that, you can't have subjectivity when it comes with experience. Or you can only have subjectivity when it comes with experience. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah.
Objectivity.
Yeah, there's like, I'm sure you could study some of it scientifically. Like, if you take it down to just like a series of notes and chords together. Like, there are some that are just more pleasing to the human ear and the human brain than others.
Yeah.
True.
But you can also use those chords in a way that, like, the sounds that are coming from your TV are telling you that you should be calm, but what you're seeing on the screen is telling you that you should run away. They can be used in contradicting ways to change that experience as well.
Sure.
So I mean, it's like, it's a measurable experience, but it's not necessarily repeatable.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Sure. And not necessarily universal.
Yeah.
But we can all agree, The Room, 5 stars.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
Unquestionably.
I'll go for it. No, I mean, I also recognize how in the minority my opinion on this is, so it's not like I'm like, a star is ridiculous. I would do it myself too. I don't know how much utility I would have with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least the ability to be able to say, hey, have I seen this movie yet or not?
Yeah.
Is very valuable. Because sometimes I forget.
Yeah. Like, when you go on it, you can just hit watched.
Yeah.
And it just adds to the list.
Awesome.
You don't have to give it a star rating.
Yeah.
And, you also have to remember, even if you did choose to rank it, that's your ranking. You don't have to justify it to anybody.
Now, I know.
There's no wrong answers with art, right?
That's true. But every time I ever bring up any of those, as you say, personal feelings, you get attacked because there's an obvious objective feeling that you're going against because everybody puts their ratings on there, and now we've created consensus.
Yeah.
Sure. But is that because, like, they agreed with it? Like, that's how they originally felt?
Yeah.
Like, if they had seen that movie in a vacuum would they be saying all those things about it? Or did they hear a bunch of great things about it, then go watch it, and what they had heard was reinforced by their experience watching it, and then they...
Or what they heard ruined what they
or,
would have
or
watched
yeah,
if they hadn't
or
heard
the other
anything.
way.
Yeah, that happens, in my opinion,
That happens too
not
much.
just all the time, but so much now that it's become a cultural problem.
Yeah. So is the consensus genuine, or is it just conformism?
Well, that's happening with Acolyte, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's happening with everything. Star Wars is just one of the biggest when you look at everything, you know? So it's going to feel bigger just because it itself is bigger. But yeah, I mean, honestly, Acolyte has gotten to the point where I'm creating conspiracy theories because I'm just convinced that a lot of the engagement that I've seen online about it is specifically to fight a culture war, not to listen to a storyteller tell a story.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, it's like embarrassing to look at. Like I have to like run away every time I see it now. I don't know.
It's kind of crazy.
So strange. Maybe it's poisoning the well of just rankings in general for me. But it's just so like I don't know. I feel like sometimes watching something like that, there's this holy divine bond of like grace in that, hey, I'm gonna tell you a story. I don't immediately go like it's probably bullshit. I go, tell me the story. What are the rules? I give you grace and suspend my belief. But
as long as you
eventually
don't have a reason to distrust the storyteller.
Sure, yeah.
Sure.
And I grant that almost every time, just because I feel like as a viewer, that's the only thing expected of me is to grant a little bit of suspension of belief.
Yeah.
And, sometimes they ask too much of me, and there can be fun in that as well.
Yeah,
sure.
And sometimes I don't even have to think about it because storyteller has swept me off my feet. But I feel like that never happens if I pre-fight the war before I even hit play.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't trust Neil Breen to tell me a good story.
Sure. But you trust him to tell you his story.
Yes.
Like, there's no... Like, that's what I can respect now about Neil Breen. I've never seen anything like that. And that should be, in my opinion, that should be celebrated. Indeed. All my fives should be distinct from each other as much as they could be compared to each other.
So speaking of consensus, this might be fun.
Yeah.
We watched Godzilla -1 recently.
We did.
I can add that to my watch list and also, I think, my like list.
Yeah.
But out of 5, considering that there's points, so it goes from 0.0 to 0.9.
Okay.
What do you think the consensus is on a Godzilla -1?
The consensus on Godzilla -1?
Yeah. Just who comes closest between you and Calvin?
Okay. Out of 5, see, I have to also think about all this stuff where it's like, well, there's statistical analysis where certain things create, I want it to be like 5. It was one of the best movies I've ever seen. And that's honestly all
that's subjective.
I care about.
Yeah.
I, as much as I like to talk with other people about the things that they like I don't care if you didn't like it, in terms of the actual filmmaking. I only care if I liked it.
Yeah.
But it is fun to talk about it too.
The
So
thing about this, before you give your rating,
Yeah.
is like I have to artificially absorb all of the bullshit that I could imagine someone having problems with this movie.
Yeah.
And then condense it all down into what I believe that rating would be. Right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't include at all my opinions on it. It's just like you wouldn't think Acolyte was as bad or as good as it is, rather, based on people talking about it online, right?
You couldn't understand anything of what it's like based on what people were talking about.
Exactly.
Online.
So
yeah,
I would assume that it's towards the higher end of the scale.
Okay.
But I don't know. It might be middling.
Well, I'm going to say that there's also a kind of a narrative about it in how it's that good and it costs this much. So I think people are going to artificially inflate their score a little bit.
You think?
hearing that. So when I'm going between 4 and 5, which is where I am, I'm going like a 4. What'd you say the scales were? 4 point what?
So it goes from 0.0 to 0.9.
I'm gonna go 4.3 as what I would pick, trying to average out negative and how much I enjoyed it.
What do you think, Calvin?
Hard to do. Some would say a foolish attempt.
Is it closest without going over, or just closest?
Just closest.
I was thinking of 3.8.
3.8?
3.8.
So it's 4.1.
4.1.
I don't know who's closest. I can't do the
Well,
math.
I think we're right in the middle, right?
I think it's
I'll take it.
Eric.
No, I'm kidding.
Eric said 4.3. That's only 2 away.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you look at the ratings, and you probably can't see this as well, but it's mostly to the right, right?
Yeah, sure.
So,
Absolutely.
whereas if you look at a double down, for example, which is a 2.5, that has spikes on the 5 and the 1.
I understand.
So it is heavily divided.
Yeah.
You know, which is what I imagine is the kind of the problem that you talk about, where you have people coming in and giving all these ones, and then for people who are more reasonable to like balance that out, it's a bunch of 5s, even if
even if they might not believe that it deserves it, but just because they want to balance.
Yeah.
It's
a lot like our
balance
political
the ledger
system.
of the internet.
Objectivity needs a standard. Like, there is such a thing as a better chess move than another because the rules of chess are the standard, right?
Sure.
There is no standard for art. Like, I can enjoy something for a completely different reason than you do, which, like, there's so. Again, I just have to throw my hands up and be like, this is a fool's errand.
Yeah, you could say like the best movie is the one that makes the most money.
Sure, if that's your standard.
Yeah.
If you are a shareholder, it is the best movie.
Yeah.
And there is no, in my opinion, there is no like best standard. Like, there's just different ones. You know, that we can try, I suppose, to compare them, but yeah. And then when I look at things that have a bunch of 1s, a bunch of 5s, in my modern thing, I'm going like, they got review bombed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And then, but yeah, I know Double Down. I understand completely what happened there.
So I do want to clarify, the crew account is going to strictly be watched.
Yes.
We will not have reviews on it because the 4 of them will argue endlessly to get
What
something.
evidence do you have of that, sir?
We all love the same things here at Blind Wave.
So that is going to be, you can use that as a way to see what all 4 of them have seen to help guide recommendations.
Yeah.
So that is
great utility.
The intention of it, the utility of it, and you just can follow along just to see what the 4 of them have seen.
So whatever all 4 of us have seen, we'll mark as seen.
Yeah. And I have gone through and marked everything so far on the channel that has all 4 of you in it.
All right.
Anything on the channel, and then anything going forward, I believe we're going to do some of this.
So you're saying that everything that's currently on the screen I've seen. Let me look. I'm going to really test you, Jake.
Well, we've all seen, or there's already a reaction on the channel. Is that right?
The reaction in the channel has all 4 of you.
Yep.
There's some reactions on the channel that don't have all 4. That
I got you.
And thus it's not on the list. Okay, well, you've done fantastic so far because I've seen all this.
Yeah, I don't think I see any that's wrong. There's some I wish I could forget, but this looks correct.
Face Off.
Samurai Cop.
Such
I
a
love that they have
recognizable
Star Wars
poster.
The Holiday Special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to watch The Matrix with Jancy. Jancy's never seen The Matrix.
Neither is Carmen.
Whoa. Right? It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I remember my first time watching The Matrix.
I remember my first time seeing a commercial for The Matrix. It had that sweet phone.
I had no idea what The Matrix was. My parents, for some reason, because it's really not their kind of movie, had it on VHS.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. I got nothing else to do.
Sure.
I'm going to put this in. And then my mind was blown.
Their whole ad campaign was, what is The Matrix? They just had commercials over and over again. What is The Matrix?
Yeah.
And everybody at school was like, what's The Matrix? We don't know. And that movie came out, and we were all like, what is that?
What is The Matrix?
We were too dumb for it. But the fighting was cool.
They
And
got
then when
you
the sequels
infected.
came out, I understood it a little bit more because
Yeah.
suddenly there was such a thing as video essays on YouTube. They would explain it.
Yeah.
Like, what's the architect talking about? I'm 14. I don't know.
Explain it to me. Like I'm 8.
Man, these pictures here just makes me want to rank 'em, Eric. Just slide them around.
If
Yeah.
we're
Put
choosing,
'em in tiers.
If we're choosing fun standards, I'd do that. Like, I don't know. Which one had the worst?
Where's Dragon Ball Evolution?
Oh,
The worst what?
no.
Let's rank
Calvin
that one
answered
real
it.
quick.
My question. Whatever I was going to choose, he got it.
I don't know, Eric. How about every week we do 10 of them, and you just rank it based off of your own standard of 1 to 5.
Yeah.
And you just let it be. They don't have to compete. You don't have to. You don't have to argue with anyone else. Just a quick 30-second. All right, I think this movie's a 3.5.
Yeah.
I like this, this, and this, and we're done.
Gotcha. And you're saying that having been a part of the Blind Wave community for this long,
Oh, I
there
don't
will
care
be...
what they say. I want to know what you say, and then it's done.
Oh, it's funny. No, that'd be fun. I'd be into it. Look, I understand why people like to have these conversations. They are incredibly fun. I just sometimes find them antithetical to the point. But antithetical can also be fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes Star Wars is just meant for you to enjoy, watch it like you would when you were a kid, and then not think about it. And I don't do that. So it's still in my wheelhouse. I just sometimes lay the current movie culture online at its feet. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I get you.
Well, do we have anything else before we get to questions? I have some.
Yeah, let's do some questions.
Okie dokie. But yeah, well, once Aaron gets back, we'll talk a little bit more about movies and such.
Yep, because as much as he gets as tired as everybody else hearing what I say, he really is like, you don't! And he'll get angry when you don't like something. When he doesn't like something, it's not that big of a deal. But when you don't like something he likes, ooh, that's when it gets spicy. So,
yeah.
I want that.
I think the hottest I ever got was when I thought Calvin was shitting on the Code Geass ending.
I remember during the ranking. Oh man, that was a sudden.
Oh man, it's funny.
So we talked about it a little bit, but Rupas asked thoughts on the Acolyte Episode 3 drama.
Oh, yeah. I avoid it like I avoid the Kendrick Lamar Drake stuff. It's just I don't find it interesting. Like I'm not like I don't like to watch people argue about shit that doesn't matter. Like Star Wars is fun. Literally, I don't know if you can find someone that takes it as seriously as I do. But it is not worth the bullshit. There's so much bullshit online about it. It's not fun to read. It's not fun for it to be the only thing I'm hearing people talk about. It's embarrassing and disappointing. And that's all I'll say about it.
Yeah.
I think I mostly agree. Yeah. Gara, could you believe it's only 50 days until WaveCon? What are you looking forward to the most?
50 days.
It's so soon.
Yeah. Man. Oh. What am I most looking forward to? Well, I mean, after playing Rock Band the other day, playing Rock Band with a bunch of people is going to be fun.
Yeah.
I imagine it's just going to be an opportunity for an entire room to sing. And when is that bad?
Smash Tournament is way up there for me.
That's
always a good time.
I don't know. It was bad on the boat, apparently, because we were jumping.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've reinforced it since then.
No.
They have life jackets.
It's probably fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Maybe we can all get moon shoes. Will that, help?
We'd make the papers. If we
No.
sang.
No.
More people would just fall over the railing.
Do you think if we sank the Valley Gym, we would get more or less people at the next WaveCon? Because, I mean, we'd get press, is all I'm saying, you know?
To be fair, we do have a metric for this.
Uh-huh.
We collapsed the roof of the Lafayette, and more people came to WaveCon the next year.
That is true, so...
Did the news, was that?
I don't think it was in the news. I think it was just, as expected, the Lafayette is breaking.
I'm sure there's going to be some monikers and some board games that are going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, the games, I think, are the most fun.
Fabicino, for context, moon shoes or moon boots are basically trampoline shoes.
Yeah.
Not shoes that you wear on the trampoline, but they are shoes that are made of trampoline, and you bounce and jump high on them.
Think Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Curly Canadian. Do you prefer TV shows / movies of a video game to adapt the game story, like The Last of Us, or an original story in the canon universe, like Fallout? So which do you prefer?
I can feel so close to a character that I've controlled.
Yeah.
You know, that classic video game trope when you, it's a sequel, and then you're fighting the protagonist from the first game. And I remember that always gets me. I'm always like, oh, that's me, you know. So whenever I see adaptations of video games, I'm always really rooting for that character. But you also have that thing where it's like, I already love you. Who's this new guy or this new girl that's trying to take my love, you know? So it's a little complicated, but I guess I almost always enjoy the feeling of this would be so cool as a video game, and when that hits, it's very satisfying. So I would say I prefer things that get turned into a video game.
I think I prefer the latter. So I like a Castlevania or Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, where it takes those characters, it takes that world, but it gives me something that better fits the medium.
Sure.
Or just a new story in that universe, because if I love the game, I love the game story. I just play the game. I don't need that as a TV show. I don't need that as a movie. I love it because it is a game.
Yeah.
Sure, I understand. If you're bringing it to a new medium, is it just for the sake of a new audience, or is it to say something different about it?
Yeah.
I agree. Because, I mean, it's perfectly valid to say this is for a new audience that doesn't play video games. That's just not necessarily me.
Yeah.
You know?
I would agree. Yeah. I think just getting more of something I like is satisfactory to me. I don't necessarily have to have it in a different medium, but if I like it, I like it.
Yeah.
Using has a fun one. Hi, Rick. One of my favorite quotes from you with regards to battle sequences is, I want to see heroes outsmart smart people. So what's your favorite fictional battle sequence in terms of tactics? I like a lot of the battles from Code Geass. I got that feeling a lot, that Lelouch was just outthinking people. It wasn't outthinking dumb people.
Death Note.
Death Note is good, for sure. Not a traditional battle sequence, but
no,
kind of.
It's a battle of the mind.
Man, I really like some of those Hunter x Hunter fights. Because there's just so much of that. Yu Hakusho has that as well. Really love Hajime no Ippo fights. I don't know if I have a favorite, but when I think of that quote, my first thought is Code Geass.
Interesting.
I would say.
Gotcha. I mean, I think of Jackie Chan style choreography, which is no matter what situation he's in, you very clearly understand what he's up against, and don't know exactly how he's going to get through it, but you know he will, which I think is very satisfying.
Yeah, but it feels more like he's reacting rather than outsmarting.
Well,
for me.
No, I understand. There's a sense of improvisation and in the actual fluff of the stuff. Yeah, I get you.
It's like a desperation.
Mine's more of the blocking of the action from like a writing standpoint, not necessarily, watching the character make decisions. Does that make sense? I don't know.
I think so.
Like the intention is that Jackie will figure out this solution.
Yeah.
I just love fight scenes that have characters solve problems, not just go until they can't anymore.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that comes to mind, Calvin?
I mean, you mentioned Hunter x Hunter, which the playing a game of chess in your brain while moving at 1,000 miles an hour is like most of those battles is what they were. That's probably the biggest for me.
A good choice for sure. Oliver, to Eric and Calvin, have you read any of the Mass Effect books? I highly recommend the first two, Revelation and Ascension.
I have not.
I have not read a Mass Effect book. There was, after my Mass Effect journey, I had an entire stream that was just watching, like, trailers that had come out through the years, fan engagement, behind-the-scenes stuff. I don't know, watched it for like 2 or 3 hours. So I was able to kind of like get a lot of extra stuff from that, but not any of the actual books, which will be interesting. I've been kind of feeling the itch lately. Like Andromeda is out there. I could be playing it.
It is out there. It's only a galaxy away.
Yeah, you're right. But no, I haven't read any of the books.
Becky asked if Aaron was there for Bridgerton and the boys. Today he was. Was there for those.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was there for the boys and for Bridgerton.
Yeah, he just had to leave right before podcast.
Yep.
Kit Kat, overall thoughts on Acolyte? I actually enjoy it and the mystery vibe.
Yeah, no, I really like it too. I honestly, I'm kind of mourning that it has to be qualified when you mention it right now. It's like, oh, you want to type out the Acolyte? Okay. Well, where are you? Do you hate it or do you love it? And there is no in between.
As a man who loves to hate, I don't see what it's done to deserve hate.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like I said, I specifically used the word grace. Some people are out of grace when it comes to Star Wars. So they say stuff that I don't think that you would do if you were being an honest interlocutor of the media. But, I mean, that happens in sports teams. Like, fans don't really think like these professional athletes, well, you fucking suck. It's like they could do anything that you do, they can do better.
Sure.
When it comes to athletics, but you get into it. I understand, like, you can get into that. And that can be fun because you're being competitive in a situation where, being competitive makes sense for me, The other one, I feel like, just kind of... But to be fair, you can be an asshole at a sports game and ruin it for somebody else, too. So I guess it kind of works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Speaking of, in the last week or week before, but Angel Hernandez retired.
Angel Hernandez?
I don't know if you know who that is,
No.
but
I assume it's a wrestler.
No.
Baseball player?
Umpire.
Oh, I heard
the
about
guy
this.
that everybody... Okay,
That
yeah,
guy
I did
that
hear.
everybody hated.
I don't recognize the name, but I recognize the reputation.
I heard about this, yeah.
But that's an instance of, like, it's just a ball game.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
fans shouldn't necessarily be...
Yeah.
like giving this guy death threats or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do wonder. I know in like AA ball or whatever, they're like using robo umps now.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I wonder how long we'll have umpires.
Yeah.
Well, I know, like,
in their traditional.
We have so many cameras and we have tape on every pitch and everything like that. And the reason why we don't review it is because it slows down an already incredibly slow sport.
They have sped up the sport quite a bit, and it doesn't seem to take too long in AA, because if someone wants to challenge it, they just like tap their helmet or something like that.
But you only get a certain number of checks and challenges and stuff like that. So
although it's not perfect either, because I did see there was an umpire who recently had like a 100% called game. Like he got everything right. But at the time, what was on the broadcast, it called some of them wrong. But when they used like the other system, they were actually correct.
Gotcha.
So he was better than the machines in that instance.
Oh,
Yeah,
John
I mean,
Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
makes sense.
All right. Albus the Bomb. Are you guys enjoying Baldur's Gate 3?
Oh yeah.
Loving it.
The last one was fantastic.
The last one was the best so far, I think.
Just because both Calvin and I had a chance to change out our eyeballs.
Yes.
I just had so much fun. It was just this, it's such a ridiculous choice it gave me. It's like, here's this evil hag that everybody tells you shouldn't trust. And she's like, give me your eye and I'll give you something back. And I'm like, why would I ever choose to do this? Thus I must.
We say yes, Eric.
We say yes. And it's been a lot of fun. I still, every once in a while, confuse myself in how the game is played because I'm generally just a run up and attack the person kind of video game player. Even though the most fun I ever have is when I'm not like that. Like my current run of Tears of the Kingdom is very much like, because I limit myself on what I can do, I got to do a lot more crazy things. That's more fun. So playing as a cleric as I am, I just need to be more comfortable at using my spell slots more often.
Yeah.
I think I kind of hoard them and end up not using them as much sometimes.
Oh man, we for context, Rick, one of our favorite moments from last stream, we were fighting in a fort.
Yep.
In which we were in a room,
a goblin fort,
and there was a door that we had put spike growth on the floor, so they had to run through it.
Okay.
But their archers were standing back, not going into the spike growth, and shooting us through the door.
Makes sense.
So Eric had a summoned weapon that he placed by the door that could then close the door for us.
My weapon could close the door.
Okay.
And then they would have to run through the spike growth,
so then the archers
taking
started
massive amounts of damage to open the door so that they could then shoot at us. Yeah. And we just did that over and over
again. They all died.
until they all walked into the spike growth and died while we were hiding in a corner.
Amazing.
Not very smart AI then.
Well, I mean,
they tried.
They did try other things.
They tried to run around it. They just couldn't find a way. And I think the AI was just like, you have to attack. We're in battle. So it eventually just started running towards the door, trying to desperately get hits. But it was also...
I mean, it's also goblins.
It was also goblins.
They're not the smartest
We
creatures
also
anyway.
assassinated their leader.
Yeah.
Not quick enough, so the entire fort was alerted pretty much. So it was one of those... It was a chaotic moment, but man, I was so happy that it worked out. And that I was just like... I don't know, maybe my sword can close the door. We were freaking out that it could.
It worked so well.
Loved it.
Then,
enjoying.
Rick, will you play at some point? I think Maggie and I will definitely play it. It's one of those where if I have 3 other friends and so many hours, I'm running a D&D game.
Sure.
I'm not going to play Baldur's Gate. Like that's for me or for one other person or a number of people where I couldn't play D&D.
Yeah.
Like actual tabletop RPG.
Now, there's a part of me that kind of just wants to like start my own campaign at home just because it is one of those things. It's like playing D&D, but by yourself. But we're having such a fun time doing it as a group that I can see the, like, why don't you just play a D&D thing? Sure.
Yeah.
More. But there is a part of me that kind of wants to play it on my own, but I might have to do that in a year or two's time.
I mean, the thing about it is, too, is like, so long as you don't pass us, your experience could be completely different.
Yeah, you're right.
From our own.
Let's see. Free Metroid hat. Have any of you played the Mega Man Battle Network games? I've played the first one. I own the collection, and I'm going to make my way through the others. But they are some of the funniest games I've ever played.
What are they?
Mega Man Battle Network.
Okay.
It's like Mega Man's usually a 2D action platformer.
Yeah.
These are more strategy games. Where you're like inside computers fighting.
Okay.
Much different take, but very fun and hilarious.
Interesting. Yeah, never heard of him.
Any news on the possum curse? He left behind a smell that is still not completely dissipated, but he is off towards the junkyard. I assume he was still in there anyway. I didn't actually open it to check.
Maybe you should investigate that smell more, Rick.
Maybe I should.
He might have Indiana Jones shaky pawed up on the edge of the trash can and pulled himself out.
I'm not in the boys' reactions. I've not seen Gen V. Let's see. Last one I have is House of Dragons is back on Sunday. I'm excited. How about you guys? Hoping for anything in particular?
I'm quite excited. Yeah, it's been a bit since House of the Dragon season 1, and I really enjoyed that first season. It took a little. I thought it was going to take a little bit more for me to come back to Game of Thrones after feeling a little hurt by the way they ended that original series. But
sure.
I don't know. The cast has done a really good job, and then also because of the nature of how much time passes in that show, like I feel like I'm able to lock in on that specific history a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But I do this year. I don't know. I've reread Fire and Blood since, like, pretty in depth, so I feel pretty like ready for it too.
Nice.
So I might just have that going for him. I'm just ready for it.
Good stuff. All right, I have bits and donations if we want to look at memes. While
Sure.
we do that. Archmaster and the Two Intons. Oh, that'll be coming like in August, right? Not July. Yep.
Nice.
See how that goes. Thortleby subscribed for 63 months, saying 7 times 9.
7 times 9.
Not sure what that refers to. That was 2 hours ago. I'm trying to bring my mind back.
Maybe they're doing a math test. 63.
63?
I got
Could
you.
be.
Do you guys still do the? I'm dumb. I still have to do when you're multiplying by 9, the finger trick.
No. I was forced to memorize multiplication tables as a kid.
See, I was too, but I don't remember them.
Yeah.
But I remember the finger trick.
I gotcha.
No, we were. It was a Squid's Game style competition in school, and you would be timed, and the fastest would always get a reward.
Gotcha.
So I just memorized them.
Yep.
And then Diggus Biggus, 65 months, saying 7 times 9, 3 ish. So again,
okay.
I'm not sure exactly what I'm missing out on, but thank you so much for the subs. Miss Karen Sita gifted 2 subs. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
When the waving simply isn't blinding.
You're so upset.
No, it was a real mistake. I on Saturdays and Sundays, sometimes I'm like, I do stuff early. If I do something early in the morning and I'm not posting early in the morning, then I'm rushing, like trying to get it finished, like after I'm doing something. And this time I was just like, Taylor Swift, it's Saturday, Swifty Saturday. Posted it, and then I was like, well, that shouldn't have happened. And you can't take that away.
Take it, yeah.
I'd have
you can't
to do
bring
a
it
whole
off
new
the public.
re-upload. People are already watching it. I was like, I just texted the group. I'm like, sorry, but it worked out. I think.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I
'Cause we're
think
able to fit
it
in-
was
Yeah.
exactly a happy accident.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna work out better in the long run.
That guy J-Rod subscribed for 36 months, saying sup. Dale
How's it
Cog,
going?
30 months. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gregalan, 14 months, listening at work like God intended.
Yep.
Thank you again.
Ooh, lasagna.
On the brain.
Yeah.
That's the how vividly do you imagine this thing, Eric?
Yep. Instead of an apple, it's a
Instead of an
lasagna.
apple.
Yeah. Somebody did that earlier the stream.
That's really funny. Okay.
Mad Noel with 27 months. Arcane trailer hype. That was my highlight.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's looking good. Final chapter.
Parker Spitz subscribed for the first time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Parker. Welcome.
This is the fan art somebody made of our strategy.
I saw that and did not know what it referred to. Now I know the story.
Now you know.
Yo!
Turtle Cows gave 100 bits. Thank you.
Thank you, Turtle Cows.
Thank you.
Miss Karen Sita gifted a couple more subs.
Thank you, Karen Sita.
And Leewick gave a couple as well. 3 as a matter of fact.
Thank you.
And I did hear about this. They completed the lighthouse on the Minecraft server. I think
Yeah, they
Aaron,
did.
Aaron was there for it, wasn't he?
Yeah. So we are ending our 2-year run of our Minecraft server.
Yeah.
And Aaron started a lighthouse and had said he wanted to finish it and just never got around to it. So the community decided they were going to finish it as the last project.
That's awesome.
Of the server before it gets shut down, and Aaron got to make it. They did it Saturday, and he got to be part of finishing his lighthouse.
Awesome.
That's cool.
As the last project on our Minecraft server.
Nice.
Thortleby gave 101 bits.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Annie Valley subscribed for the first time.
Welcome. Thank you.
Welcome to your doom.
Oh,
Gustavo Bruno, 51 months.
Gustav.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wheel Magic, 29 months.
Thank you so much.
Healthy Official, 48 months. Are there any plans to play Stellar Blade? I've considered it. I just have so many games on my plate right now, but it looks like a fun action game.
Yeah. Thank you for the 4 years.
I still need to play the Bayonettas.
Thank you.
And finally, Cass RRR, 20 months.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We had another super chat from OsJam for $4.99. OsJam has been giving us the voice artist fun facts.
Aha,
haven't
yes.
got many voice artist fun facts for Spectacular Spidey for this week, but one is that Electro shares Itachi's and Shocker's voiceover artists, and they also play Johnny Bravo, baby.
Interesting.
Really? Itachi's Johnny Bravo?
I did not know that. That's cool.
Interesting.
I mean, I believe that's what they're saying here.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Johnny Bravo, baby. I can't do it. It's too fast.
Yeah, baby.
That's Crispin Freeman, right? Is Itachi?
Yeah, I believe so.
$2 from OsJam. Also, Spidey was Captain America on X-Men 97.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice.
Hmm.
God, I loved X-Men 97 so much. Oh. Sorry.
It's real good.
God, it's so good. You had another name.
Very, very good. All right, 5 o'clock. We're going to be back tomorrow, I believe, with some Jackbox. So make sure you come back for that. You'll be able to play with us. You don't need the game. You just need an internet browser.
Yeah. If not in the game room and participating, then you can also be in the audience as well.
Yep.
And influence votes.
Everybody can participate.
Yep.
Indeed.
Should be a good time. We'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.
Bye,
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.